Hands cover your eyes, but there are glimmers of light through the cracks in the fingertips. A great force slams into you, all bindings and darkness fade away, and while you are free, you run into the wind and dissipate. You don't stay to see the consequences of the battle that must be waged in your wake. And when you are far enough away to feel safe, you take in the ripples and you fall to your knees. In your blindness, something was lost, destroyed, and taken away. Bitterly. You cry on until night turns to day, and then you stand. There is much to be done. Hundreds of fragmented visions all play at once. One clip sees a group of detectives sitting in a gray apartment. They look grim and all stare at a black stone which glows a jagged red, sat in the middle of the table. Old textbooks litter the place, and a teaching certificate hangs cracked on the wall behind them. Another sees a woman with a camera by her side, pictures pinned on a corkboard connected by red threads. There is a hardness in her eyes that perhaps wasn't there a few weeks prior. Another sees a gruff man nursing a drink as he methodically fiddles with a new hunting rifle, serial number rubbed clean, and one bullet missing. Another sees a family across the sea, finally accepting a death in the family, having to mourn with no body. Another sees a richly dressed woman sleeping restlessly, the sharp white of medical gauze barely visible beneath her dress. A family of 3 very different people talks on in the background about what the hell they're going to do about all of this. We change worlds. A team runs through trials deep underground. One loses an eye, one a hand, one a tongue, one a mind, and one a life. A game of careful politics is played in the deep woods. A spider loses to a fly again and again and again. Deals are made behind closed doors under threats of revolution, and one by one, the forest begins to die. An investigation begins anew as a queen dies on her throne and a new king is crowned. In every vision, there is a sense of something missing, gone forever, maybe to never be regained.
It's a magical, mystical time. It's anecdotal adventures.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of City of Mist Kingmakers. I'm your Master of Ceremonies, Ashley, and these are my players.
Tele, and I will be playing, I guess Ryan this episode, who is the Rift of Lamasu.
I am Sonya, and I will be playing Kate, the Fae of Laughter and Mania.
I'm Simon. I'll be playing Aron Frankel, whose Rift is King David.
And Juno, who plays Jane, the Rift of Hera, is here and will be joining us very soon, but can't join us for the introduction. And that sort of leads us straight into the last time on, because Cassidy, who usually plays Matthias, will likely not be joining us for this episode, as last time on Kingmakers, Matthias Gray walked into the sunset only to burn and die after a ultimate stop-holding-back roll, which wasn't completely failed, but was not completely succeeded either.
Can I ask of you, oh dear DM, make him like Ben from Umbrella Academy, please?
Unfortunately, even though I were to do that, the one person of you, the Klaus of Umbrella Academy, if we would, is not with your party at the moment, so...
Damn. Okay, fine.
But we pick back up where we left off. Particularly, we'll actually open with you, Ryan. as you are the only one besides Ezekiel to witness this death. There is nothing left of Matthias except for black scorch marks on the ground. And the hot stench of smoke and fire in the air. Ezekiel is off to one side looking on in abject horror. He doesn't quite understand what happened very clearly.
Ryan shares that look, but his eyes are tearful.
He reaches up and out as if to try to catch the ashes floating up in the air and looks down as they disappear in his hands.
Ryan gets up from where he fell in despair as watching Matthias and walks to the best of his ability as he is stumbling after this. He is still stunned by what he just witnessed towards Ezekiel,
who doesn't really look at you. His eyes are fixated on the point where Matthias went up in flames. But he does sort of like grab onto you. Where'd Daddy go?
I don't know, Zeke. I don't
And
know.
And he just starts crying.
Ryan holds him and cries with him.
What do you do?
Is there enough ash left?
It's gone with the wind. The only thing left is sort of a blackened footprint from where he last stood. All
No, I am going
clothing.
to yell.
Juno in the chat asked, did he drop any loot? Like the true murder hobo that she is.
Wow, Juno, wow.
Completely heartless, self-admittedly.
Was anything left behind by Matthias?
No, everything that was on him disintegrated with him.
Ryan picks up Ezekiel. I think we better go tell.
Ezekiel is out of it, just crying, not responsive.
It'll be okay, bud. It'll be okay. Ryan is partially saying this both to himself and Ezekiel at this moment.
Yeah, and where do you go?
He goes to find Hazel.
Well, Hazel's not with this group.
No, not Hazel. Who is with this group?
Right now, there are really very little people with this group since Catalina and Adalaie made their exit. The people that are still with you, Felix, Jane, Aron, and Kades.
Ryan decides to go find Aron.
Kate has already, like, Kate will at that point have already felt like the giant burning flame thing. And since Kate is nearby, Aron would have gone down to him, tear streaked, and told him.
Basically, I guess we all regroup.
Kades, you felt a strong flare of magic, and then it flicker and die, followed by a great feeling of sadness.
Yep.
You don't know anything other than that, though? But eventually, I think Kades would spot you first, Ryan, as he's keeping watch from around the area that Aron is currently having his own respective mental breakdown in. You see Ryan holding on to a crying Ezekiel, walking very slowly, this glazed over look in his eyes, glassy.
I connect the dots. And then go over to Ezekiel and Ryan.
Ryan, you see the butterfly form of Kades land and transform into his human self.
Somber look. He's dead.
Ryan looks up at him, but it's like he looks through him.
Aron needs to know.
Ryan nods. And where is he?
Kate will start walking towards Aron, leading in there.
Aron, from your place in the back alley, you see the human form of Kades walk, Ryan holding Ezekiel.
All in
following.
tears. All of them in tears.
What happened? What?
Ryan moves Ezekiel over to this, holding him with one arm, and holds out his hand. You need to see this.
Okay.
Ryan offers you his hand.
Aron's a mix of concerned and a little bit confused, but he does not accept the hand. Kind of just movement to like, I'm going to follow you. What happened?
Ryan retracts his hand and walks back over to the scorch mark.
The entire way there, Kades is making sure that no one else, disturbs them.
Yeah. And Aron, Ryan leads you back to an empty, less used exit to Astracane, where probably about a foot before you reach the outside of the gates of Astracane, there are blackened scorch marks on the earth, a couple of them in the imprints of footprints.
What happened? You will when you look at whatever this is, kind of confused exactly what this means.
Ryan tries to answer, but
Were these
Or
here
don't let 'em.
before? Did we find something?
Ryan, should I?
Ryan nods.
Aron, that's Mattie.
Was this new? Did we need to find something? He's definitely just ignoring that completely.
Ryan, Aron. Mattie's gone.
Knowing by gone, maybe just teleported somewhere in this
He's
city.
dead.
Maybe just,
He's dead. Aron, he's dead.
And just stands there in a few moments of complete silence before just having another mental breakdown.
And for a moment that feels like quite a long time, you all stand in silence. Tears running down all of your faces as you see what's left of your friend.
What time is it?
The sun has just begun to set.
Feeling that Ezekiel shouldn't have to stay and just witness all of this after having seen the deed done before. Ryan takes him back over to where he and Mattie were staying at.
What do you mean?
You said that they were in like a tent, right?
Yeah, but Matthias put Ezekiel down before he left the city because taking Ezekiel out of the city would make Ezekiel roll the same roll that you two had to make, which he did not do.
No.
So you have a tent that's outside of the city.
Not that tent. Whatever Ezekiel and Mattie were staying in.
They weren't staying in. You all found you stayed the night outside of town before you went in.
So they weren't in any room?
No. There are like churches and cathedrals that are for public use that you guys have gone in and out of.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Ignore that then. Ryan just walks away with Ezekiel away from the
Kades will stay
The
by
area.
Aron. Not pushing, just presence nearby. A comforting presence, hopefully.
Okay. And if none of you move to find your other traveling companions, then we will shift over to Jane, who, where we last left, was marching toward... Sneaking toward the central tower, the cathedral that you guys had just left, where the keepers hold audience in the evening.
Having no knowledge of what just happened.
None at all. As far as you're concerned, the world is fine. Everything's fine.
Nobody's dead. What do you mean?
It's great. What's this sad music? It means nothing to me.
Play some sneaky music instead. Come on. Well, like, I'm pretty sure, didn't I get like I think I got a 12 on my sneak around last time.
I don't remember. It's been a week.
Would you like me to roll again, or?
I'll believe you. And if you didn't actually roll last time, oh well.
Okay. She's just gonna creep forward. So, do we know that there were people meeting here in the evening?
Yes, you were there.
Okay.
They hold audience there, so people come in and ask the keepers for help with things because they are the rulers of the city. So this is where they hold audience.
I wouldn't have any idea of what time of day would the least amount of people would be there, right?
Absolutely not. You have no clue.
Okay.
Probably the least amount of people would be there when there aren't keepers currently present. They hold audience in the night because they are all religious figures within the Quarter Stars.
Not all.
And how many people are there now?
There's a decent line to talk to this council of masked lords.
Okay. Is there any place I could hide myself and just listen?
It's a huge cathedral. Some people are just here to pray, not necessarily hold an audience. And there's really not much to eavesdrop on. It is them just dealing with normal problems of the people.
I want to. Oh, I want to look at the heart of the garden. What was it?
The heart, the garden place is behind where the keepers are. You would have to walk behind them, open the door, and go down into the chambers. And you were there when there's some sort of odd magic spell to open the way down. Okay. To the garden. So without a guide, there's likely no way for you to get down there.
Jane's just man, really wish I had my crown right now.
That would be so useful, but guess we're Catalina. Not here.
And none of the keepers are going down there, correct?
No, they're all holding audience right now. They're working.
Because Jane wants to eventually get down there somehow. I don't think she's willing to risk it right now when there's so many people and it's very busy. That could be both a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
Is there anywhere else that looks important that might be more uninhabited at the moment?
Not in the cathedral proper, though you do note that hanging above the sort of where the keepers all sit and above the door that would head back into the gardens, there are two things on display that do catch your eye. It is a very odd and elegant looking sword carved of an odd white metal crossing with a staff of some sort.
Were these here before?
Yes. They didn't really catch your attention all that much here before, but now that you're examining the place a little closer, they do sort of stand out a bit more than some of the other decorations, which are all things you'd expect to find in a cathedral, and then there are just this random sword staff combo.
I feel like now's about the time I should roll investigation if I'm going to be asking questions.
I think that you're correct in that. Yeah.
Okay, I got a 6, and my last roll was not investigation. Gotta think I'd like to add studious, the right questions, discretion is advised because I'm hiding, and creative because I'm trying to figure out why these are standing out so much.
Okay. So, 4 questions.
Do I see anything else that would resemble, is this the only odd thing standing out about?
I mean, it is dressed like a really richly decorated cathedral. It has these really grand stained glass windows, presumably depicting scenes from the Court of Stars, Book of Shadows. But everything other than like that is something you'd expect to find in either a cathedral or a governmental chamber, which is both of what those are.
That's distracting me, but
You apologize.
I'm trying to think of what questions I could ask about this specifically because I don't have a way to garner much knowledge at the moment, unless I like ask someone. I'm not sure I would want to ask someone.
No, probably not, considering I think Kades did give you the information that, like, everyone here is mind-controlled, pretty much.
Yeah.
You do know that one of the keepers, specifically Keeper Sunstone, is a fae in disguise, named Strala. She is
The one who's controlling
poisoning the
mind control.
trees.
Yeah.
And mind
She is
control.
currently the one at the head of the keeper sort of table that they have, and is doing most of the talking.
Are these people like the head of the Court of Stars?
No. They are the head of the government of Astrakhan, which is a holy city, and considers itself very pious in relation to the Court of Stars. But the actual leader of the Court of Stars, you stayed in her tower back in Ashbourne. Her name has been mentioned a couple of times. Holy Mother Black Divine III. He's the current head of the Court of Stars religion.
I don't trust this religion. I'm sus. But I guess, could I use a question to ask, like, is there anything I notice? I don't know. Guys,
Other than the mind control, that's unusual.
Yeah, I need a little help here, guys.
Is there anything unusual other than the obvious everyone is mind controlled?
Yeah.
Well, you can always bank your clues for later.
I guess. I'll ask one question. Do these, do the sword and whatever, does it seem magical in any innate sense?
The staff doesn't catch your attention so much as the sword does. You don't quite know why it catches your attention and sort of draws your eye to it. There's something about it.
Steal it.
I want to steal it. Does it?
Right above where the keepers sit.
Yeah.
Damn it. Steal it during the day when they're not there.
Yeah. Does it feel like it's been tainted with the like evil magic going on here? Does it feel like it's actually a holy thing?
You really have no way of ascertaining that.
Okay.
That won't count as a question, since the answer is just, you don't know.
I will bank the 2 then, and I will probably exit and be like, I need to come back here later when there are less people.
As you are exiting, Keeper Sunstone sort of watches you leave, and you feel that even though you're pretty sure you were pretty stealthy sneaking in, that she definitely made note of your presence.
I made sure to give my best starstruck eyes and mind-controlled awe. I don't know. Touristy
awe!
Yes. The culture shock. Wow, everything is so gorgeous. And I guess, I don't know. I was kind of not here for some of the part where we described what the town was.
Well, Astrakhan is a city-state. It is lies on the border between Evra and Andrathis, the two big human powers on the Thara. And it sits in between 3 lakes. It is a city that stands very quiet, in contrast for some of the other metropolis areas that you've been in. There aren't a lot of people that wander the streets, and if they do, they go into a building very quickly with purpose. They don't hang out, as it were. Most of the city is constructed out of this very pretty white stone and very dark wood.
Okay.
And it's surrounded by high stone walls.
Oh yeah, and you learned about the statue that was right in the middle of the marketplace that appeared? Yeah, the one with the little poem.
Yes. Currently, the central market, which is presumably where most people would congregate at the moment, is closed for investigation because a random statue appeared there with a...
One of three.
This one was 2 of 3.
No, yes, but one of the 3 statues.
Yes.
Second one, but still.
Some ominous poem on it, maybe giving a warning of what was to come.
I'm trying to think of where Jane would go. Is there any like this church is the main, or the cathedral is the main focus of power in Astrakhan, right? Or there's not.
This is sort of the Keeper's Hall. It is where they come to meet, and it's a very grand cathedral to the Court of Stars. But there are other prominent landmarks in the city if you actually wanted to be a tourist and like learn more about the city.
I think I will. I'll go around and try to learn more about this city because
specifically, there are 2 places that would probably stand out. One is the Hall of Saints, which is an underground cathedral with one detailed statue devoted to each of the saints of the Sword of Stars. And the other is the Ivory Tower, which right now stands broken. It is a huge tower in the center of the city made of the same white stone as the walls, except it is long toppled, like this happened long, long ago. This was perhaps once a grand tower, reminiscent to the Ebony Tower back in Ashbourne, but it has since been demolished.
which place do I feel would be like less odd if I went to visit there? Probably the underground place, right?
Yes, the Hall of Saints is sort of like a low-key tourist destination. Like people go there to see the statues of the saints and like learn their stories.
Then Jane will probably go there to try to like draw attention away from herself. Then go to a kind of obviously abandoned place, and try to learn more about the Court of Stars because there's always a lot of history with religion, and there's been conflicts.
Yes. Well, besides the stuff that you learned at the start of your adventure, which was long, long ago at this point, so if you need a refresher, I wouldn't blame you. The Court of Stars believes that when you die, your spirit rises into the night and becomes a star in the night sky, and that it is ruled over by the Astral Mother, who is their divine figure, their god. It is a matriarchal religion. All the higher figures are female, and it worships the night. War and conflict is only to be done in the day, because to do so at night would be sacrilegious, as you would be exposing the Astral Mother to human violence and sin. So if you're going to do a bad deed, you should do it in the daytime. It's sort of there.
Wait, that would leave them open to attacks during the night.
Yes, which has been used multiple times by the Salbana. There's a reason why the Salbana named their capital Solaris.
And the Salbana worship like the opposite thing, like the sun?
No, the Salbana have a pantheon of people, which you probably would know less about since Jane didn't go to Solaris.
Yeah. But like they kind of the sun thing was mostly just to like throw shade at the stars thing.
It was a bit out of spite, and also because their god of governance also corresponds with their god of son. So
Okay. And then the leader of the Court of Stars is the Astral Mother? Like, not
the Astral Mother is the goddess.
The goddess that they worship.
Is the goddess they worship. The leaders, the ranks are called the Holy Mothers.
Okay.
So the current one is Mother Black Divine the Third.
And how are they picked to fill that role again?
Generally speaking, they rise through the ranks normally, which the other three ranks are Sister, Holy Sister, and Revered Songstress. So they're picked from the ranks of Revered Songstresses. And because the seat of the Court of Stars is Evra, they are generally picked by the Emperor, which for hundreds of years at this point has been Emperor Skycaller.
Okay. So it's basically like Skycallers, they're okay with their religion because they basically pick the head of the religion.
Yes, so you could probably ascertain from Astrocade in particular that once upon a time there was a huge war over where to put the seat of the Court of Stars, which is why there was an ivory and ebony tower.
And the ivory tower presumably lost.
Yes. So there was only like one era where there were two Holy Mothers at once, and that was an era of destruction, and thusly was viewed by most folk as like the Astral Mother's wrath of them going against the grain.
Wait, how did two get picked? Did the Emperor pick two?
One was put up by Astracane's keepers to the Ivory Tower, and one was put up by the current Empress at the time to the Ebony Tower.
Okay, so the religious leaders disagreed with the country leaders at that time.
Yeah.
And was that when did it first become tradition that the Emperor elected?
Pretty much since the start of the Court of Stars religion, since the first Empress charged her people to build these great monuments to the Court of Stars in her capital of Ashbourne. And her elected mother was just like her advisor at that time.
Mm-hmm. The religion is older than the country, right?
Yes, by quite a fair bit. But the tradition of like having someone rule from the Ebony Tower, having a Holy Mother that rules over the whole religion, wasn't established until the Empire was established.
So how did they do it before that?
Probably history did not record very well how they did it before that. Presumably they had like smaller religious leaders that spoke the word of the Astral Mother, instead of basically looking toward the Pope, they looked to like their local religious leader.
Okay. And like there wasn't. My brain just forgot the question. Hold up. No, I forgot it. Oh my gosh, that sucks. It was a good question, and then I forgot it.
Well, if you come back to it, I'd be happy to answer.
So, how did the idea of the Astral Mother like come into place? Was that lost to history, or did they have
no clue how that happened? They think that it was not a religion that was around when humans first landed on Althara. It was a religion of the... Let me flip through my notes. It's been a while since I've had to go back to the timeline. The Vistran tribes, who were a people that lived in the Denal before Oricars happened, and then sailed back. Eventually they brought the religion that they had there to the humans on Althara.
I want to learn about the people who lived in the Denal before the Oricars.
All that's recorded about the Vistran people is that the Empress of Evra came from that tribe. And it was said that her mother and father were from two very different tribes at war. They both got a vision that they had to marry to end the war.
Ew. Doesn't
They
sound
did.
fun.
They did so. They had 2 children, twins, and one went on to be the Empress of Evra.
Based on the knowledge that I've garnered, do I think that there is actually a holy, like an astral mother?
You have no clue.
No clue.
No clue. And that's sort of like asking, hey, Jane, do you believe in God?
Well, it's like I've learned about all the Fae like legends in our time now with Fae, which is like I can see that Hera was viewed as a god on Earth, and so were multiple of the other Fae. That
If you're asking if the humans here thought the Fae were gods at any one point, the answer to that is solidly no.
Not even like the old Fae, that they wouldn't even have known they were Fae.
When they landed on Hera, it was pretty clear because the humans made Fae deathly ill.
Okay.
So
I definitely don't think if the Astral Mother exists, she's definitely not a Fae.
So
at
why
least
does our Fae
there's
get
no
hurt?
there's no
That's like
obvious proof.
human. That's like human world.
Yeah, I know. It's weird, right?
It's weird that the humans in our world didn't make the Fae in our world sick.
I know, right? It's so weird.
We need to write that down. Somebody write that down, because we haven't talked about that before.
Miss Note Taker?
That's what I'm doing right now.
Anyway, the Hall of Saints is a place where people go to like educate themselves on the Court of Stars. So this is the place to ask all your Court of Stars questions, because I will provide you answers free of charge.
Can you just like give me a history of stuff that I wouldn't know or I haven't?
Oh dear God. I'm having flashbacks to the first 3 episodes. But I don't know, some stuff you wouldn't know about the Court of Stars. Interesting stuff. Are you looking for like scandals, history, fun facts? What are you looking for here?
Okay, definitely scandals, but a little bit of history fun facts as well.
Jane's just having a ball over here.
Like, she's looking for useful information, but the fun information is there at the side, and she just can't help herself.
Wait,
Okay.
what's the place called where the orc are currently?
The Denal.
Didn't know, right?
Well, so I guess some of the more interesting things would be that most of the founding kingdoms, Andrathis, Astrakhan, Briar's End in the Mirror Groves, didn't originally start with the Court of Stars as their predominant religion, but they were converted because the Court of Stars also invented this world's writing system.
Ooh.
So they could spread their word more easily. And the people who did this were called Knightlings, and are pretty famous figures. One who invented writing is the saint of, I think, education. It's a big deal. All the Holy Mothers sort of have a naming convention to them that is taken from the emperors and empresses' same naming convention, where they replace the name that they were born with, their common name, with a holy name, all in some way related to the night, or the stars, or connecting back to their religion in some way, shape, or form, some of which have like bad reputations and or are like names gifted to successors. So whenever you hear the names of Mother Starbright, whatever number you're on, Starbright is the traditional name for candling Holy Mothers, and it was very traditional to elect candlings as Holy Mothers for a long time. So there was a long run of Holy Mother Starbright the First, Holy Mother Starbright the Second, Holy Mother Starbright the Fourth.
Okay. And candlings are like generally held above all the human Holy Mothers, right? Because they are holy people?
Yes, there's a reason people favored them as Holy Mothers for a long amount of time. It's because they are seen as closer to the Astral Mother. They are innately gifted with magic, which is seen as a sign of the Astral Mother's presence. and they're generally considered holy, and the Mere Groves is a holy land. Let's see. Revered songstresses, this is probably a fact that you haven't encountered, because all of the revered songstresses you've met are at night, are not allowed to speak anything outside of the Song of Shadows during the day. They have to speak in verse during the daylight hours. So most of them just prefer to sleep. They can talk normally during nighttime, but they can only speak from things from the Song of Shadows in the day.
Wait, does it have to be specific verses, or can they cut and take from different verses? Because I'm sure there are plenty of words in there where they could just...
They have to speak whole verses.
Oh, that is annoying.
Wait, what happens if they mess up?
They are stripped of their rank and they're sent back down to be a holy sister until they prove themselves worthy to be a revered songstress again.
Oh my god.
To become a revered songstress, you have to memorize the Song of Shadows and be able to recite it cover to cover as part of the test.
That's long.
It's a whole book.
Oh wow.
With multiple volumes.
If that's just the revered songstress, what are the restrictions on the, like...
So, the revered songstress is the highest rank, so to get there you have to prove yourself. For the most. Sisters, there are brothers of the Court of Stars too, but they're just rare because you can't rise in the ranks as a brother. So it's much more common for women with magic to join the Court of Stars because they have the most upward mobility. And it's very rare for someone without magic to become a revered songstress.
Do you get paid for being a member of the Court of Stars, and like how do they get that funding?
Well, for one, every single like human country is bereft to the Court of Stars, so they get a lot of donations from nobles trying to prove their piety. You don't get paid as a member of the Court of Stars. You get free food and shelter.
Okay.
And your job is to spread the word. Generally, people with magic are more accepted because they take the role of healers, of magical healers, though those without are often trained in just mundane healing as well. There aren't doctors or surgeons. There are your local sister and holy sister who you can go to for mundane and magical healing.
Okay.
And generally, everyone sort of like picks a saint to be under as your favored saint, because there are a whole lot of them. And there are holidays corresponding to each of the saints. And it sort of acts as your second birthday. You which is pretty similar to how it does on Earth. You celebrate your Saints' Day as well.
But like, what are the do we know? Is there any set of like requirements to be the head of the head of the church selected by the emperor, or is it just?
You have to be a revered songstress, and you had to have been a revered songstress for a certain amount of years.
Okay.
And generally, it's not just like the emperor picks you and that you're done. You have to pass the approval of. You have to like be nominated by at least 10 other revered songstresses, which is a challenge.
They all also want that.
Because generally, they all also would like to be the Holy Mother, and B, they would. There aren't that many revered songstresses. There are probably like, in total, like probably maybe 50 of them across the whole of Althara.
That's not a lot, yeah.
Yeah, so a far greater amount of the ranks make up sisters and holy sisters.
Imagine you just have like a really bad memory and you'll never be able to
You'll just be a holy sister for the rest of your life.
Every time you just like.
And you for some new requirements since Emperor Skycaller has been in place. They have to prove they have a certain amount of education.
Yeah.
That's a good thing, I think.
Yeah. But that wasn't put in place until he became emperor.
Which has still been a long time, though.
Yeah, so there have not been many holy mothers that have been illiterate because you have to memorize the Song of Shadows, which is a text. But you have to prove that you are not just educated, but can use that education and apply it to political situations. You have to be like a respected leader.
How long do those leaders generally live? Like, Skycallers lived abnormally long. Like,
Yeah,
is
he's
this a
immortal.
pattern?
These people are just regular humans. They generally live to their 50s to 80s. Some of them have lived abnormally long in that they've lived to like 103.
Did we learn why Skycaller is immortal?
He did some forbidden magic. Not forbidden, unknown, I guess. From something called the Mad Mage's Notes.
Oh, right.
Which was something you asked him about, and he said his biggest regret was translating those.
Okay, yeah.
Which gave him a whole bunch of magical things he could use in his repertoire.
Did we find out if he did it accidentally or if it was definitely...
No, he worked to uncode the notes and cast the spells in them. It was like his project through most of his youth.
Okay.
I could run you through some
Scandals.
Some other fun facts about the Court of Stars is that they name the eras. The Holy Mothers do. Every 100 years, there's a new era, so they name...
Oh, the era.
They name the era. So where those names come from, creation, breath, blood, flame, iron, stars, radiant, arrow, queen, bright, victory, sky, dawn, mist, and the current era, kings, is all named by the Holy Mother at the turn of the century.
So they're terrible with organization. Nobody wants to memorize all the different names.
And they are generally, it is generally thought that they name these and they are elected as such because Holy Mothers are thought to be able to see the future. So they get visions that tell them what is ahead, which has actually historically most of them have been proven very accurate.
Okay.
I mean, this era is called Kings. So, and like Mother Darkdream III named the era Victory because that was the 100 years that they won the war with the Fae.
Okay.
And there's some other stuff in there, especially about the more violent eras, like Blood, were named for the fact that that's when the first human-on-human war happened. Before that happened. With the benefit of hindsight, most of the names, looking back, scholars do think that at least some of the Holy Mothers were either just really well educated and good at reading the air. Like, it seems like a war is about to happen for the first time. What should I name this era? And or actually had some sort of mythical clairvoyance type ability.
And was the current one the one who named this era?
Yes, Mother Black Divine III is in fact the one who named this era. But she's very recently elected, because the last Divine died very old, at almost the end of Mist, which was the 14th era.
And how do they measure their eras? Like 1,000 years?
100 years. Every 100 years is an era.
Okay.
There have been 15 common eras for the human calendar. There's a lot more history. Like, the Fae can tell you, based on their calendar, that, like, it makes no sense. All
right, scandals. Give me the tea.
Okay, a lot of the a lot of the name Black Divine is thought to be cursed because all of them have died in horrific fashions. There have only ever been 3 of them throughout history. 2 of them have died horrendously. The third, the Holy Mothers don't pick their names. So when this one got their name, she may have been like, oh, that doesn't happen to me. Because the first one was like, I have to find these specific ones in my notes. The death. The first one, the first Black Divine, led an army into battle and was killed fighting quite violently. And I believe the second one was murdered within the Ebony Tower halls by an assassin.
Oof.
By who?
By an assassin.
Isn't it kind I was going to say, isn't it surprising that she would have gotten picked when she had a cursed name, too?
I mean, once you get, like, you're picked, and then you get your holy name while you're crowned, and you're stuck. And it is a position you hold to life. You can't be, even if you do the absolute worst, the only way to dethrone a holy mother is to kill a holy mother.
Just assassins, basically.
Yes.
So, wait, how did they get picked, then?
As I specified.
With the Emperor. The Emperor chooses them.
They get nominated.
No, the names, yeah.
No one knows. That's the same way no one knows how the emperors get their, they disregard their common names and get new ones. Some magic ritual that is kept pretty secret.
Okay. Sorry for interrupting so many times. Continue.
No, this is fine. You're learning stuff. You're interested. Anyway, we're going to get away from the history lesson, though, because as fascinating as the Court of Stars religion is, for the rest of the group, while Jane is having this education station session, do you go and seek out the rest of your group to gather them? Again, because they did everyone sort of scattered to the 4 winds.
Kate isn't going to leave Aron alone.
Aron's a bit preoccupied with previous engagement.
Ryan has removed Ezekiel from the area.
I just heard 3 soft no's there.
Yeah.
You do realize the only alternative is me going back to the history lesson, right?
Yes.
Hey, Kades, as the one who is least affected by this.
Kate is protecting Aron right now. You can't leave him alone when he's mourning.
Well, I guess this is a history lesson episode.
Today, in Court of Stars 101, we're going to learn about all the tea on Holy Sister Black Divine. The third.
I guess... Yes?
Well, Aron's situation, he's depressed to high heaven, but there's also a very much growing emotion of, I'm going to burn down this entire city to get my revenge.
Aron, are you going to go start a fire?
Oh, God.
He's still sitting there just bawling his eyes out, but you can definitely tell that there's some wonderful ideas on how to get revenge starting to form.
Yeah, I mean, you guys know whose fault this is, too.
All of them met during the night.
Estrella did this, and you know exactly where she is. She's disguised as a keeper right now.
And
taking audience.
Getting some very unique ideas on how to make them regret life decisions. The longer
all I can imagine is Aron running off, storming off towards this one of their to the leader, the Fae leader. I forget what her name is. What is her name?
Estrella?
Estrella?
Not a Fae leader.
Well,
she's a Fae disguised as a leader.
Yes.
And her name was
Estrella.
It's about to be a past tense if Aron gets what he wants to be.
I can imagine is Aron walking up to Estrella, pushing past everybody in the court or in the chapel, what have you. And Ryan's just tagging along, like, no, stop, don't do this.
No,
Like half-heartedly.
please stop.
Wait, what exactly is the phase? Like, what role has she faked? What exactly?
The keepers are the Council of 10 that rule over the city. So she's faking. She has presumably murdered the actual Keeper Sunstone and taken her place.
What role does she have in the operations of this place?
Well, the
She's
Keepers
the one in charge of the garden.
Yeah, the Keeper Sunstone particularly was the keeper that was charged with protecting the garden.
What happens if you remove the mask in front of everybody of the keeper?
Gas.
Scandal, horror.
What if you remove more than just the mask and like the most things above, let's say the neck?
Well, if it is not revealed, well, first of all, you know that the entirety of the council is also mind controlled by Keeper Sunstone.
Yeah.
And presumably more than just that, because she did imply that she's been here for quite a while working her magic.
Mm-hmm.
Does the magic make her bulletproof?
I don't think the magic, in fact, does make her bulletproof, but that might be an interesting thing to test.
Yes,
Sure.
let's.
In fact, I'm feeling this anger so much that we're gonna move past the sun beginning to rise now. Aron, the tears stop.
No, Aron, don't go.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
So that, like, Aaron's typical emotional thing is just like a hurricane of just everything, a little bit of everything mixed and matched into whatever in God's name you just want to describe his mind operating as.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's pretty much all just one emotion now, and it's just pure anger.
Is Aron gonna go murder himself a fae?
He might attempt to, as he kind of gets up from what hot mess and just kind of quiet, just without any emotional words, just walks towards the little, like, what would you call the place that they would be at, a castle, right?
Cathedral.
Kades is gonna turn into a human and walk right beside him.
So Kades, I think this is the first time Kades has revealed that you don't just transform into butterfly in person then, unless you're, like, are you turning to just a regular human, or are you just gonna be a human, like your human form?
The human form.
Reveal it, reveal it, reveal
The
it.
human form. That's it. The human form.
Human form. I mean,
Yeah.
I've read your cards to everyone, so, like, they know you can as players, but...
No.
Wait,
But Kades
wait.
isn't gonna reveal that. No, that's for later.
What? Kades can control his form, right? Most fae can.
A lot of
What?
they can, yeah.
I know this is hard on feelings, but what if Kades turned into a ghost of Mattie?
No, dear God.
No.
And as they were approaching,
Do you want Aaron to burn down this entire continent? Because he will. Don't think he
That
won't.
is no. Why would you do that? That would be no.
They want to pick
imagine
a
the
king.
horror.
Anyway. Aron. It is a silent walk to the cathedral. The keepers are getting up and packing up from their nightly audience and beginning to go back into their chambers. Most people are gone, having cleared out. What do you do?
Probably just... I don't think he'd be thinking much about a plan right now. He's kind of not in that state.
You do still have the mind-controlled status.
Even though it's only 2, but it's still there.
It's still there.
But right now, all he's been told to is not leave the city. Not, you can't shoot me.
Yeah, that is very fair. That has been on the order. What do you do? You see Keeper Sunstone walking in, walking back into the back door behind the Keeper, sort of desks and thrones that they have.
Probably was about to think of a smart plan, but seeing that, just the sheer emotion of I'm going to make you regret life decisions quickly, so then any well thought out plan time.
Aron, Kate is gonna put his hand on Aaron's shoulder. Do you have a plan?
Just some silence.
Do you act before she closes the door behind her?
Well, probably try to.
It's better with a plan. And that's cool. Kate's just trying to convince him that it's gonna be better off when there's more people.
That was violent. Tele just wrote in the chat, "Murder the bitch."
I feel that though.
Lord. I don't know if I don't.
Aron, remember, she also kidnapped Ezekiel.
Remember, it'll go
burn down
smoother. This will go smoother with others.
What do you do, Aron?
Shoot the bitch.
I guess listen to Kades.
More people, you're more likely to.
You are no fun.
You sound so sad. I guess listen to Kades.
Oh, and also, you know how when Aron gets all embarrassed, is he like that the color he blushes light that color. When he gets really incredibly mad, his eyes glow that color, and he's very much angry. This is like an anger he's not ever felt before. Of just pure, I'm going to burn down everything that moves right now.
So with the clenched fist and Kate's hand on your shoulder, you watch her eyes linger on you for just a second before she closes the door behind her.
Again, more colorful and unique ways of removing her are quickly being thought of. Many involving some ironic way with limes. Something ironic.
Be impaled by a slice of lime.
Maybe seeing how,
You do. The door's closed.
Lime grenades.
The opportunity is gone.
Let's find the others and make a plan.
I hate you so much for making me do that. I want to make sure you know that. I despise you right now.
I'm aware. We will actually be able to get her. We will have a better chance of being able to get her and making her regret her actions with others there. She will get what she deserves.
Okay. Then I will say that for about half of the rest of the day, you set about looking for your friends. You find Ryan and Ezekiel first. Felix second, who takes one look at your dour faces, red eyes, and just, what happened? Where's Mattie? And Jane?
Mattie's gone.
Jane is somewhere.
What do you mean,
Jane.
gone?
Gone. For good.
What happened?
He doesn't know what happened, does he?
Nope, no clue.
Kate, take Ez, please.
Wait, what?
Take Ez.
Take Ezekiel?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, oh, you're there. Okay, yeah. I take Ezekiel and bring him away.
Felix, you can read minds, yes? That's
Yeah, that is the thing.
Have you ever... Did you ever watch the movie Dark Crystal?
Oh?
That old movie, Dark Crystal?
No, that sounds ancient, though.
Okay.
Not Ezekiel. Felix has watched Emma's dad kill Emma's mom through her memories, though, before.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
No,
Not saying he hasn't seen death.
Okay. So I won't make the reference. Because I was going to ask to dream fast. Anyways.
What happened? Was that an invitation for me to read your mind and find out?
Yes. Because it's too hard to put into words.
Okay. Felix closes his eyes for a second. Hands fall up to the side. Snaps out of it quickly enough. And eyes get a little glassy and he bites. Bites his lip pretty hard. I think just leaving it at he died would have been better.
Well, you asked.
Well, what are we gonna do about it?
Okay, let's cover Ez's ears, please.
Gone already. Ezekiel's gone with me. Remember you told us to go outside?
Okay, yeah.
So it's Aron, Ryan, and Felix right now.
Well, I'm sure I hate using violence. I really do.
Not in this situation.
This is
I
a
can see
case
you on this one.
of avenging a friend. So, I guess we're gonna be killing a bitch soon.
And grim faces, it seems, are all in agreement that there is no peaceful solution to this problem.
Aaron's singing the opposite of peaceful.
Oh, yes. Eventually, you guys find Jane, having left at some point the Hall of Saints, having learned everything you can from there.
This has rejoined the group with Ezekiel at this point.
Yes. Jane, when the group finds you, you have never seen a group so ready to go to war.
Like, quizzical look.
A lot of the faces are tear streaked as well.
Are you... what?
And you would notice, Matthias is noticeably missing.
Where's Matthias and Kades and Ezekiel?
Well,
No,
Kades
Kate and Ezekiel are there.
Oh, they did come? Okay.
Rejoined.
Where's Matthias? Where's Matthias?
He's gone.
Gone? What do you mean he's gone?
Felix.
He died. Not all of us need to see it.
He died? How did he just die?
Fighting the mind control, I guess.
What? This is ridiculous! You guys! Are you joking?
Do you want to see the scorch marks?
Don't wanna... No!
Don't believe us?
I think by the fact that Aaron's
She like looks at looks at Aron and then looks at Kades. Or actually, reverse order. Looks at Kades and then looks at Aron.
Kate looks sad and angry for the first
international
time.
laws with this murder probably screams that they're probably not joking. He looks like he wants to murder something in a very colorful way.
Hard to
Eyes are
learn
glowing
how to
in
friend
anger.
death.
Yeah, either kind of, just slightly glowing out of pure anger.
It's just 2 miniature suns.
Jane just like slowly, a solemn look, crosses her face, and then a glare. So, when are we going to murder the bitch?
Murder the strong word be much more than that. Murder is a very weak word to use, much more than that.
We need a plan. She's powerful.
She's powerful and probably could just tell us to stop
Get me into the
if she finds out, so we're gonna need to be sneaky about it.
You can't tell me.
Get me into the gardens. I'm going to try to purify the heart. If I can stop the poison, we might be able to get ourselves actual lemons or something that will weaken her mind control.
I
Okay,
don't want
so
it anymore.
I guess our plan is to sneak into the garden place again, then?
There's also
Then we
a
need to
sword.
get rid of your guys' mind control completely.
There's also a sword. I don't know enough about it, but I think it could help us. The problem is it's right out in the open.
I like your plan of sneaking into the garden, because if we can purify that place, then we stop the source of the mind control completely.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll be able to do it all on my own, but
You have a lot of help right here. We are all prepared to do everything in our power.
the Holy Mothers only meet at the night. I'm thinking the daytime is probably the best time to do this.
And as you all are talking about your plan to murder Estrella, sneak into the garden, bereft it of the mind control, sort of shift a little bit. Viren! As Cassidy is joining us. You did see Matthias die, though you did not make it apparent that you were at the scene and probably left soon after that happened. What have you been up to? Well, the rest of the group has been regrouping and planning a murder. What has Viren been doing? Throwing it at you real quick.
Probably walking around confused. Like, just like, okay. Yeah. Really rethinking his decision to travel with these people.
Yeah, it's a decent thought.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm pulling up my list of people who he would be more comfortable talking to.
Mattie. Mattie is dead.
You think.
Yeah,
I'd be more
actually,
comfortable talking to.
he's gonna go over to Aron.
So they are all in one big group right now, definitely planning a murder of Estrella.
Was Aron probably bringing them out more colorful ideas?
Yeah, I imagine you're all like, you found like a secluded corner in some shady, like broken down part of the city to make these evil plans.
They're not evil.
Righteous.
There's something. I don't really know how to describe these.
And you're used to finding people in big cities, so it's not exactly hard to track them down.
He wants to like go, and then he wants to like stand on the edge of the group and like listen for a while.
Okay. What is the group talking about as they're planning?
Jane is talking about how we're going to sneak into the garden and making that the priority because if we're
Okay,
going to murder
first
her,
things
we need
first.
to get rid of our mind control.
First things first, we tie her down, get a real lemon, and squirt it in her eyes.
I'm sorry, what?
Said you wanted the left
that. Aron offers that idea, but instead of lemon juice, it's very, very sharp daggers.
No, sharp daggers, cut them open, and then put lemon juice in that.
No.
No, sharp daggers in the lemon juice.
Okay.
Gosh.
Silence. I can handle it. Don't
What if
worry.
we use chili flakes?
We don't have chili flakes.
Does anyone have Adalai's bag?
I can produce any weapon on this planet.
Adalaie has Adalai's bag.
Lowest-
Also, Catalina took my pepper spray. Why would she take my spray?
Is it bad that I know how to make pepper spray? I can make us a pepper spray.
Just
Do we have an...
throwing it out there, because I understand that all of you guys probably grieve at various levels of aggression. It seems. He didn't seem like I didn't know him that long, but wasn't he the one that was like, in the first place, let's not go after the child that's probably being controlled?
They're talking about Estrella.
Estrella?
the Fae,
Okay.
Not Marcel, who had nothing to
Okay.
do with this particular mind control.
Alright. But I'm just... Is revenge really a thing you guys are gonna go for?
Yes.
Like,
Acknowledge that
I
Aron
understand.
Aron likes to offer a new idea on the table how to get rid of this character. This Fae in question. Let's figure out how many limes shoved down a person's throat a Fae needs to lose a proper oxygen supply, shall we? That's an ironic idea.
One, if you position it correctly.
That's a quote.
But
Can someone type that down, please?
We're recording. We have it forever.
Okay.
I understand.
It was funny.
What if we,
In any context, it's a bizarre statement.
what if we made the place go boom?
No.
No, the people here are innocent. It's just Estrella.
Maybe very small.
The people here are mind controlled, and that
We
garden
don't have a
actually
syringe.
holds good fruit.
If we catch
don't have
Estrella sleeping, we could use a syringe full of air.
We don't have stuff from this world, you guys. From our world, sorry.
And also, you would know, Fays don't sleep.
Exactly. Sleeping.
We could probably fix that.
You guys, this is... As much as I love your creativity, we have to look at this with the fact that she's dangerous and,
Wait, I heard this
Very
whole
dangerous.
story
our options are
about
limited.
Faye. Are Faye, Kate, are Faye
Yes.
still repelled by iron?
You would know, no. No Fae has ever been repelled by a metal of any sort that is not Blue Heart.
That was never a thing.
Wait, we have blue heart
Moving
weapons.
very fast into them.
Ryan!
Like that.
Oh my god.
Yes,
Is Aron
you,
here? No,
you all do have Blue Heart weapons.
We are idiots. We could just
Can't she still mind control you guys?
that's why my plan is to...
We could shut her up,
Quiet.
gag her then.
Oh my god. We have blue
Do I know
heart.
if the mind control
Obviously,
needs to have vocal stuff?
restrain her with blue heart and slowly... No.
You don't know how Estrella is accomplishing the mind control. It's a very...
Still have those anklets.
No,
Actually,
they disappeared. They disappeared.
Wait, having that amount of...
You all
having
do
mind
still
control
have
over
the-
that many people is a lot of magic.
You must be tired.
What?
Takes a lot of effort to hold on to magic.
I'm saying she probably has something else to assist her. There's
There's
no
probably
way
a
she could
source
do
to
it all
that.
on her own.
She's a free fae. Free fae are powerful.
How many people are in this, like, estimate? How many people do I think are in this?
Thousands upon
Entire
thousands
town.
upon thousands. It's a city, not a town. It's a lot of people.
Like, 10,000 people? A Fae could mind control 10,000 people like that?
Yes.
What if we all walk to the edge?
Does, like,
the
is
quarter?
Kades... Is that
and
true?
threaten to walk away, and then she uses
Kate
her
thinks it is.
upper hand.
How many people do you think she would be able to mind control, Kate? With, like, ease?
All of them in the town? In the city?
And it wouldn't be any hindrance to her at all to also fight someone while using that magic?
It wasn't a hindrance to her before.
What if we poison her food?
She's
They
a side.
Ryan,
don't eat. And nor do they react to poisons the same way the humans do.
We
Like
have to
the
put
real
her
effects of
blue
blue
heart.
hearts. Like blue heart dust.
Jane is just
There
like
is actual blue heart dust in this world, at least one of you has experienced it before, and it is painful as shit.
But we don't have any. And
You
there's no
don't.
blue heart weapon
You
can
could
take down.
grind a blue heart weapon, but that would destroy it. You would no longer have that blue heart weapon.
Does anyone have more than one?
No.
Emma did.
The
Jane
only
does?
person who has, I guess. What do you have, Jane?
I have a staff and a dagger.
All right.
You can
Emma had a
grind
bunch
down
of
some of your staff.
One is Strellis and one is chocolate. Or cocoa. One is Strellis and one is cocoa.
You can grind down some of your staff.
Mm.
The end of the staff that's blue heart, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
What the
just a
hell?
piece. It's way too expensive to make a whole weapon of blue hearts. Most of them are edged
Damn.
with it.
But still, you would have a weapon. So if we grind down the
blue heart, since
point.
I can just create weapons I don't really need.
And what makes you think that she'd eat anything from you guys?
I don't think she'll eat it. You could just go, like, blow a puff of smoke into her face.
But you realize if she dodges, that's such a waste.
Not really.
Yeah.
What is your guys' plan?
My plan is to sneak into the garden and have, like, okay, hold up. Jane is going to present her plan now. We sneak into the garden, and I have one or two people with me, and the others are on guard duty and making sure nobody sneaks up behind us and distracts the rest of the people there so that we don't get into a situation where I can be interrupted from doing this task.
Is it possible Estrella is reading our thoughts because she controls our minds? Or knows where we are at all times?
She probably does.
Which means she knows what we're planning.
She could probably also use all of the innocent townspeople to...
It was
Against
the
us.
most random. You can't predict random.
You can.
I'd say Aron is our best bet at a surprise attack.
Just have him go all Donald Duck on him?
So,
I don't get what
if
you're
you
trying
were-
to get at here.
if you are going to do a plan, you need to commit to one and start acting on it.
I
Because
think-
Estrella told you to stay in town for a couple days and then, like, come back to her. So there is a deadline that you have to meet.
We'll be coming back. Just
Yeah, it would be probably better to come back on your terms rather than hers.
Oh,
That is
We need to steal the first thing first. We should try to steal the sword from the entrance where everybody will be looking. We need somebody who's stealthy but strong enough to carry that thing out of there, and be careful because it's definitely magic.
Ryan raises his hand.
We don't know what it can do. You're stealthy, Ryan?
Why are we stealing a sword?
It has.
Yeah.
I really think it could help us.
Why?
ow.
Yeah.
It's the
There makes the
only
sword
magic.
seem
It's the
sword.
only imbued item.
But if we know Fae are weak to blue heart, and why don't we just use the blue heart that we have?
Okay.
Like I said before, we have blue heart weapons.
Yeah, reasoning the GM brought it up.
And we are idiots. And that's how we got into the whole discussion of maybe grinding some down and make blue heart powder.
I'm not willing to grind my blue heart weapons
Yeah.
down.
They're
I
too
am.
valuable for that. But you can, if we activate them, then her magic shouldn't work on us, right? Like her fame stuff won't work. That's
Yeah.
how it works.
That's how it works, yeah.
Everyone looks over at Kate. That's how it works, right?
Yes. Would the mind control go away? Do I think the mind control will go away if it
Again,
doesn't work?
you don't know how Estrella is doing it. It is magic unfamiliar to you. Thusly, it is not Fae-like, so it probably wouldn't be affected by Blue Heart Weapon Drain.
Wait,
The mind
I know
control
a guy who's
probably won't be
stealthy.
affected by it.
We all do.
What?
If we really want someone who's stealthy to help us with this, whether we're going to the garden or not, or stealing a sword or not, we always just go ask, what's his face? Eos? Eos? Is that his name? Eos?
How do we know Eos isn't mind controlled?
Okay, but why are we breaking into the garden?
So
No,
I
I
can
went British there for
purify
a
it.
second.
I mean, he is British, so I did give him an accent when I talk as Buren, so.
We're breaking into the garden so that I can attempt to purify the tree, which would end the hold of the source of the mind control.
And how do you know that?
Because the fruit that we drank that controlled us in the first place came from the tree. And hopefully if we
But-
could...
How do you know that purifying the tree would break the mind control?
I don't,
Or is
but I
this
do
just
know
a
it's
wild
something that
guess?
it has to be done, regardless of if
The
it's-
mind control isn't specifically Fae. It is from another source that she controls.
And you are positive that it is the tree.
The
No.
fruits came from the trees. The garden is all one.
So what benefit is it to purify the tree?
The off chance you aren't mind controlled anymore.
The off chance that you aren't mind controlled anymore. So you're willing to break back into her territory in order to purify a tree that you might not even know if it does anything. I understand that you guys are all upset right now, but you really need to fully flesh out an idea. Personally, I like where this idea is going, but you need to purify a tree and then steal the fruit and get out of there additionally, on top of all of this.
Viren, my dude, do you have a suggestion? Is that what you're trying to get at? Or are you just gonna be critiquing our simple idea that we just came up with in 5 minutes?
I have a.
That we haven't had time to refine yet.
Aron has an idea for
Ryan, he has a point.
Aron, what is your idea?
to Liren, and it's shut up.
Guys.
You're very annoying.
Guys.
Viren, your wing glows brightly and hotly.
No. I just put my hand in my pocket.
If something whispers in your ear, don't let him say that to you.
I scream in my mind that he's one of the nicer ones!
Ryan, my brain. Viren's right. We do have to come up with more before we just go in. And wait, you aren't mind controlled, are you?
Viren?
This is why I wasn't super excited about bringing it up. You guys are getting involved with a fae. She's like a fae. Like a fae.
She's a free Fae.
Yes,
So you guys are just
typically fays are indeed fay.
actually not typically fays aren't fays. Typically fays are familiars. So no, not at all typically. Recently I've witnessed a couple of scary fae that are still familiars. I don't even want to know what a fae is capable of.
Terrifying things.
Kades, do you think there's any chance that we could even take her?
You think
With
that,
all of you?
Kades, with your experience with Estrella, she isn't a frontline fighter. As a fae, she's not physically powerful. She is extremely cunning and magically gifted. But she's not like a get in a sword fight and win fae.
If it comes to a physical fight, yes, you guys will win. But she is extremely cunning.
Which is
We
why
will try
she
to
has
prevent that as much as possible.
mind controlled all of you. So I understand the motivations, but genuinely, what is? So you guys need to not be mind controlled as the first step, and I get that. I totally get it. But have we looked at any other alternatives than breaking into the place where she
Their mind
controlled you in the first place?
Their mind control has already been reduced.
I mean, Aron can create a gun. We can just go.
Going guns a-blazing? Literally!
Don't give him that idea. Don't give him that idea. He will just go and do it.
It has
I'm
been
giving
said out
Aron
loud.
the idea.
He's in no state of
Ryan just said that out loud.
Let's.
Aaron starts making guns.
Well,
Okay.
he has one from the one person that shot somebody.
Yeah, you have
He
Leo's
has a gun. He has
which
a gun that works.
Which, as a note, has a silencer that goes with it.
It does?
It does.
Oh no. Oh no.
That laugh.
What in that castle is went from oh heck to oh they're screwed. He will
Aron,
take
you
it
got
out.
Leo's gun, yeah? Why don't we just do that?
You take it out and make sure it's loaded.
You need
Do
to get rid of the
guns
mind
work on-
control first.
Do guns work on... Wait, Aaron, what if you ground up one of your weapons and coated the bullets in the blue heart?
Shouldn't the priority still be the mind control thing?
The mind control needs to be gotten rid of first, or he might shoot one of us.
You can't mind control a bullet when it's in the air.
You can
No,
mind
but
control
the
them.
Unless you're
mind
Catalina.
control you to not pull the. Not the.
If she
I
doesn't
don't
know
really
about
know what
the
a
bullet,
bullet
how
is.
can she
I'm
stop
assuming
me?
it's a weapon, but.
How you can't stop me if she doesn't know I'm
It's a
pulling
weapon
the
that can
trigger.
kill someone in the blink of an eye.
She is smart. She will
Kades,
know.
Kades,
You mean
Kades,
like
I have an idea.
fae?
I have an idea. Kades.
Like a fae!
What?
Kades.
What?
Does the person who's mind controlled have to hear the command?
You have no clue.
I have no idea.
So what if we muffled or deafened Aron, send them in with the gun?
Okay, I have. Aron has a question about since Kate.
Terrible idea.
Kate, since you can't like mess with emotions and stuff. It's like mess
I
with
control laughter.
just distract her with that.
She's another
With
emotion
laughter.
phase. She's another emotion phase, so it wouldn't work super well, but you could. You could feasibly just make her start laughing. And that would technically count as a distraction.
To death, preferably.
She's an emotion fae. as
So
well.
you guys are totally set on the idea of killing her. Well, and I get that. I get it. You're angry and you're
Why are you
sad.
paying attention?
I still really like. What if you purify the tree and you take another fruit thing and you just mind control yourself again? What if you purify the tree and nothing happens? What's the plan then?
Can cakes be mind controlled by the fruit?
You don't know. Kids didn't eat it. Because he wasn't poisoned,
Well, if
so
the
he didn't
mind
eat it.
controller is dead, can the person be mind controlled?
In order to make her dead,
You need to not be mind controlled.
yes.
I mean, the mind
And
control has been lessened, so right now, in game mechanics, it's just a -2 to everything.
What about Ryan who broke it to get out of the
No,
city.
you broke an order, not
Okay.
a mind control.
Which
Okay.
should
'Cause you
probably
lost
know
a
Matthias
card
tried
instead
to
of your
break
life.
them. Yeah, mine.
Matthias lost his life.
Yeah. By the way, I still need that new card.
I'll send it to you later. For now, just operate on his character sheet.
As a player, I really want to try to purify this tree regardless of if it works or not.
If you're going to do something, you need to start acting on it.
Okay, so am I helping you get into the garden? Is that what's happening?
Yes.
Kate
Look,
is gonna turn
if it
into a
doesn't
donut by
work, we're
fire.
still gonna fight her regardless. So, and this does need to be purified one way or another.
Is your guys' plan of action? Are you moving to sneak into the garden?
What time of
Yes.
day is it?
It is day, so the keepers are not out and about.
Then
They
yes.
would. The cathedral would be much more busy at night.
Oh, she will be like. Also, we need some. They are the only ones who have a way in, so we will have to sneak in after.
I mean,
I still think we should find a way to muffle Aron's ears. See if that works any.
What?
Did we just try the garden thing first?
Yeah. Let's just try that.
roll me
I'm
a
only
second.
getting into
I'm
the
making
garden.
you're acting now. This is no planned discussion anymore. You're sneaking into the garden. Roll me sneak around.
Oh god, Aaron is good at this.
Driving this forward because you've talked for like 30 minutes.
Hey, it's better planning than no planning, right?
It's better than none.
Are we sure about that?
No matter how many circles we go around in.
Yes, a character died because of small amount of forethought.
Discretion is advised. Creative. Do I want to go higher than that?
No, you just need to get to a 10 plus. for sneak
Okay.
around.
And
Okay.
But remember,
Wait.
you guys have -2.
You guys
All
have minus
sneaking
2.
into the garden?
Wait, but the -2 is to say is
The minus 2 is to everything as it is a status afflicting you.
okay. Then
Kate's got a 10. Straight roll.
if
Not adding anything.
You need to add 2, Ryan, for now.
yeah,
And Jane, you need to add 2 more.
martial
not
artist because I'm dexterous,
Okay?
and these I know how you think to avoid prying eyes.
Fantastic. Ryan, you need 2.
determined and surprisingly fast.
Perfect. Viren, what'd you get?
I rolled that's a 6. Sticky fingers, nimbles, true thief, and steady and sure.
Okay, fantastic. Sneak around I was not worried. You could probably have rolled a literal 1, man.
Literally everything here.
Yeah.
The question, though,
Aaron.
if you're waiting for Kate
I
to
rolled a
help
9,
you
but
pry
I had
eyes
to-
away,
minus 2, 7, so you need 3.
Alright.
is there a way to keep prying eyes away for Kate to help keep prying eyes away?
Wait for him to finish this.
Okay.
Read your text
Under
aloud and
pressure.
try to help you.
That applies.
Wait, what
Yes.
do I do with Ez?
Who is watching Ezekiel? That's a thing you should establish.
I guess
But-
Ryan.
Okay. Continue, Aaron?
Now, could stand up to authority apply in this situation?
Absolutely. Estrella is masquerading as an authority figure, and she's literally more powerful than you guys.
Alright, I don't think I've used this tag before, but I guess, martial arts help at all? Just help do the
Yes, I let Jane use that exact same tag, so absolutely.
But I haven't really used that one because I kind of forget it exists.
Well, welcome back to the party, martial arts. You all roll well. Ryan, are you staying back to watch over Ezekiel?
Yes.
Wait, what about the NPCs? One of them could watch over Ezekiel.
I guess
Like Felix?
Felix, the actual other child?
Alright,
Felix
that's
is
fair,
with-
but we have other ones.
Do we? I think the rest of them
I thought
are
they
in
were
the lab.
No, you don't. You have Felix and Viren, who is right now being a player character.
Two people should be
Oh,
with.
that's right.
2 people should be with.
Felix can stay behind. He doesn't have anything to help with stealth, and he'd be fine with that.
All right.
But he is also 13.
Hey, he's mature for a 13-year-old. He can watch a 4-year-old.
Factor that into all of your decision making going forward. Okay, then you're leaving Felix and Ezekiel by themselves as you're sneaking into this.
No,
garden.
with Ryan. With Ryan.
No. That was a joke. We're not leaving the kids outside with the casino alone again.
Okay. Then Ryan, you're behind. So
Do it. Why do I get stuck with babysitting?
Because I'm purifying the tree.
And I'm the thief. I thought it was just gonna be like a 2-person mission. But
Not if there's a
it's
risk
okay.
of finding.
So, Sonya, what character are you playing?
It's
Kade.
Kades? Okay.
I love how much we pay attention.
oh yes.
Should maybe
Your
Kades
level of
also
commitment is astounding.
should maybe Kades all I don't know. Who's watching the door?
What do you mean the door?
The door. Look out. Look, I
look out.
honestly.
Viren, do you think you could steal that sword?
Why do we want to steal the sword?
We just went through this.
I mean, it is pretty shiny.
That's not our current goal. And I really don't want to piss off a Fae even more.
We don't need the stupid sword. I can make one.
Okay,
We don't
fine.
need any of them.
Or they're hiding around the corners and like Jane's like, okay, she's really good at finding people, so we have to be.
Yeah. You get to the door that leads into the back into the keeper's farther trainer, and you open it without problem, and you close it behind you. Because Kades, you use your magic to distract the 2 guards watching the door. And you know that there is a staircase that leads under, but right now it's a flat floor. There's some sort of magical incantation you need to unlock this.
Someone
And-
said the ABCs.
Of course, there's always a brute force way to get past this as well.
I don't think any of us are the brute force kind though.
No,
Shoot it till it
no.
opens.
Hey, Aron, do you have a sledgehammer?
Aron is not. You're not with us.
Aron is in fact with you. I made everyone roll stealth.
No, I meant Ryan is.
He's been doing.
No, this is
Yes,
Tele.
he
This is Tele
Oh.
suggesting to Simon, do you have a sledgehammer?
He
Yes.
has everything.
You get a sledgehammer.
Who gets a sledgehammer? There's no one here.
It's just
Ryan's right
Jane,
here.
Jane, Viren, Kades, and I think
Oh, that's
Kades is
right.
outside of the staircase though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kade is
Like,
You're all in the same place until you get to the gardens, which is beneath the staircase, which is currently just a floor that you need to get down to.
So we can't exactly be stealthy if we try to brute force.
Is it a wooden floor?
No, it is made of stone.
Damn, that sucks.
What exactly does his elemental control extend to?
All 4 of the traditional Avatar elements.
Including stone.
Water.
I would like to try and open the floor.
Okay. I won't have you roll for this, because this is
Quietly.
one of that you can use bereft of
Quietly.
the ring's influence. You feel the ridges where the stairs are probably supposed to be with the magic, and you just push the earth down to recreate the staircase. And for everyone else, you watch Viren doing something you didn't know he could do. He makes the staircase appear.
What?
wow.
So I do like little magic fingers
Actually
and then
useful.
start heading down the staircase.
Not annoying.
That was so badass.
Fix it once we're down there. Cover our tracks. Make it back to normal when
Lock
we're
us
down
in.
there.
Let's not do.
Fix
Do
it,
we-
they're not gonna clearly notice we're here.
Okay, they are gonna know
Yeah.
we're here. Do we?
Fix it so it's smooth again. Why?
Oh, dear.
They don't know we're down here if a holy sister tries to come in.
Okay. I put it back, even though I think it's a bad idea.
I also think it's a bad idea.
Was the exit behind you?
Don't wait. What if we don't do that? What if we just block the door? No. I don't want to block the exit.
Why don't we just do what we're here to do?
Okay.
Walk down the stairs, arguing hushedly as you do so. Down a long hallway to the garden. Viren, this is your first time down here. Silver and gold trees bearing limes and lemons of all sort. A silver flame in the middle of it all. Some benches around the courtyard. You guys are still sneaking, so you don't take the path. You mark immediately into the forest, which is perhaps your only saving grace, as sitting on the bench is definitely Astrala, next to the flame. Sitting, she's reading a book, flipping through its pages lazily.
Does she notice we're here?
She doesn't make an obvious sign that she does.
Jane's like she knows we're here internally.
Aron's very tempted just to shoot aggressively.
Well, you're tempted. Are you gonna do it?
I'm gonna test a music here. If it doesn't work, I'm gonna quickly switch away, so forgive me if this doesn't work. Nope, this is fine. Because as you guys are sneaking around, she does sort of look up under her book, and Kades, I think you know immediately. She is emotion fae, which means she can sense people's presences, just like you can. That's how she's been tracking you guys, not through the mind control, but just because she's has a very similar power set, basic power set to Kades. So she sort of opens her eyes. Hello? Who's there?
She knows
Exactly how many of
know
those
who,
there are.
right?
No clue. Kades, you know you can't distinguish. You can distinguish magic sources, so she'd know there's like a couple Fey magic sources down here and Viren. So Viren doesn't really feel. He doesn't have magic, so he doesn't really feel like anything. He's practically invisible. You have to focus to feel him, because he doesn't possess a magic of his own.
Would I were to whisper, do you think she would be able to hear? Do I think she'd be able to hear?
If Aron and I were, like, holding each other's hands close in proximity, would she be able to distinguish between two people and one?
Probably.
I guess.
So are you gonna, like-
keep going?
Wait, what can I do?
I'm whispering this extremely quietly. She can't sense you.
What? I can't purify the fucking trees.
Viren, your ring whispers in your ear. Snuff the fire.
What?
Snuff the fire.
It is a
But
fire.
would that, like, whispering quietly to themselves, but would that work?
Your ring doesn't respond to a question.
I try and snuff out the fire!
You try to. It's in the center of the room. Astrala's standing right next to it.
Oh god, I want to curse her.
I know you're here.
Can I suggest that Kades, Aron, and
Feeling
Jane
whispering to himself, how do I snuff it out?
I know we need to talk to her.
Well, if you're not just going to come out and talk to me when I ask politely, I suppose I could ask the mean way then.
Jane walks
Come out! And it's
No,
Norman.
Viren pushes Jane down and Viren pops up.
Okay.
Pushes those to the others down and it pops up.
You can still sense everyone else, and she just ordered Aron and Jane to walk out. So now she knows everyone's here.
Damn it.
No. Viren, you didn't do that.
Nope, you said that did that. That
I said I did that.
sucks to suck, but that
He was
happened.
like, don't get up!
I just
Get
imagine.
out.
I just
Yeah,
imagine.
you guys are, if you want to try to resist that order, you have to roll stop holding back of a no return.
I need to save my stop holding back.
I just imagine Aron right behind Jane pushes her down into a push. It pops
I'm
off.
imagining he puts his hands on both of their shoulders and they both stand up and he just
So
goes with
unless
them.
you tell me you're resisting, everyone comes out then.
Except for Kate.
Yeah.
Kate can still hide, but you know she knows you're here. Because for actual Fae, you have distinctive presences because you know each other.
Kate's in the background, shooting middle fingers.
Specifically making it so she'd be able to tell.
Yeah.
Ever! Why? Why are you here?
I wanted to get a better.
Did you think you had seen all the sights that Astracane had to offer in only like a day and a half?
Well, I mean, I kind of did.
I highly doubt it. Who are you, young man?
Me?
Look at you, Baron.
I'm nobody, just tagging along.
Your ring flares. And you can
My hand in my pocket.
you can sense it in like your ear. It would like to summon some things to your aid. As your fist around the ring a little tighter.
No, this is not. You know, just following people around. This is not a good place. Not a good time.
It's not a good place for trespassers. What is your goal here? I'm curious.
My brain stopped working.
Jane, Aron,
Aron, now. Do it now.
Kate.
Can I?
Aron, what are you doing?
Oh, weren't we told to come out? So we're all like out.
Yeah, you're all out. She didn't tell you to do anything other than that. What are you doing?
Get very close to the flame.
Get me close to the flame.
Can I get close to the flame? Attempt to?
Can you all? Why don't you all just move close to
Jane
the
just
flame?
like walks.
I was
walks
gonna
up here.
ask to roll a sneak around to try and subtly just over to it. Scooch over.
Yeah.
Looks
Not a
there, looks away.
This is not
Aron's
a situation
halfway
that you can do such a thing. City of Mist does not have magic invisibility cloak unless you
No, I
actually
would, like-
invisibility cloak like D&D does. So
How far away are we from her?
the path is quite a long way, and she asked you to come out probably like halfway into it. So
Jane will like when she asks her to
feet.
come out. Jane will just casually like continue walking towards her, and like look around at the garden.
I was so struck by the beauty of this garden, I had to come back to look at it.
Yeah.
you're a better liar than that. I mean, you're a crap one, but you're better
No,
than that.
I said that as a player. It's Juno. No possible excuse. Kate did not.
Well, unfortunately, that's
I'm
table talk, as I will continue.
Jane is a
to remind
wait.
you
Jane
guys,
is
I
a better
discourage
liar
that
than
heavily.
me. Jane is a better liar than me. What would Jane do?
I don't know.
Try to be friends.
You did just break into holy sacred ground. I can't just let you go unpunished.
So that goes for both of. I guess it goes for all of us then.
Yeah.
You know, you also kind of did that.
Well, it's not exactly the Court of Stars' holy ground anymore.
Can we just like?
Mine.
Jane is just going to curse her before she does anything else.
Okay, then that is a hit it with all you've got if you're trying to use a status aggressively against her.
Aron, you might want to do that immediately as well.
Yes, dynamite. Or not dynamite, but two.
2 sixes.
You got 2 6s?
Yes.
Nice.
What do I add a bunch of stuff here?
Everything you add is another like status. Or
Okay.
not like another status, but it's like it increases the status. So you basically every power you add is like another XP or hit point that you
Also,
knock out of
activate
her.
your blue heart.
Yeah. I imagine I should have said this earlier, but I would have activated it beforehand, but I didn't say it, so I wouldn't.
Yeah, if you don't say it, it's not real.
Blessed or cursed? If I were you, please, I know how you think. Martial artist, because I'm going to have to dance around to try and, like, hit this chick with whatever I'm doing, and I'm trying to get to the flame. That's my end goal.
Okay.
I want to add everything I can, right? Because this is a hit it with all you've got, not a go toe to toe. Discretion is advised because I'm trying to distract her from, so I can achieve my goal. And creative, because I am trying to sneak my way around to get to the flyer.
No, you have to find the creative first.
Yeah.
6? What's up? You're on it at 6?
I could try to add more. Studious because I'm trying to study her reaction to how I am going to manipulate her into getting around to the other side.
Right now.
Yes. And prom queen because I'm trying to impress all of my peers after the main leader figure has just disappeared.
Matthias was the main leader figure.
I feel like that's true because he was the main fighter. He was the main fighter.
Okay, so is that 7? Or 8, excuse me?
I think it's 8.
It's 8. I had 8 fingers up and I said 7, so it's 8.
8 plus 12, so that's 20. Total.
That's not how it works.
I'm just counting, but...
Oh.
Okay, so choose 2. You take cover, secure a secure position. You get them good or get many of them. You control the collateral damage. You hold the target's attention. You gain the upper hand. Choose 2 of those.
Z, achieve your goal, not one of them.
That's go toe to toe.
Let's go to toe. I would like to get them good.
Okay, that's plus 1 tier, so that's a 9.
Wait, what? Do I get to add 10 different things?
No. You get to add 2. On a 10 plus, you choose 2.
Okay. Get them good and...
Which is a plus 1 to your tier, so now you're doing tier 9 damage.
Secure
God.
superior position.
Secure superior's position, yeah.
Okay, because if you don't choose that one, they do damage back to you. So describe what you do to her.
Jane just, like, all of a sudden starts running and, like, just shoots
What's
magic.
the curse called? What's the curse you're giving her?
Tongue-tied 4.
Blight of the mind.
Oh, fun. Describe how this looks.
I imagine, because it's a curse, instead of her normal golden magic, it will come out black. With, like, golden sparks as it, like, attacks her.
You run by her, and it sort of infests and goes in through the nose, the eyes, the ears, the mouth, and attacks the head as part of your curse, and then it disappears. And she pulls back a little, but moves in front of you before you can get to the fire, and looks down at you, very tall, smiles. Oh, honey. You think you can do anything to me? This will be fun. And that is when we will pull away.
Blue heart.
That is when we will pull away. As Henry Blake sits in his office filing paperwork, the Sage Master, Ismail, was a punctual person who hated anyone to break deadlines. Blake was a natural procrastinator, but his cover looked better if he was a quibbling follower, so he made sure to get it done on time. Of course, he wasn't alone. No, it seemed he would be living in the Ross family manor for quite some time, which did put a damper on his business, but he didn't want to make waves. Marcel was one of the only children allowed to wander. Even the Lord's own son, then, didn't go anywhere unsupervised. He supposed it was because she had been nothing but a success, taking to the training particularly well. It made Henry's stomach do flips just thinking about it. Doing such things to children. Years ago, the brasher side of him would have burned the place to the ground. But if there was one thing Althara did well, it was temper his aggressive instincts. Obvious moves never ended well, and if Ras died and his enterprise fell, much worse things would crawl out of the woodwork. If they didn't put things back in place, they always did. Althara had a way of killing one's faith in humanity. Marcel was sitting on the floor, humming and kicking her feet, while coloring something, God only knows. And as long as she was around, he had to act even more nervous than usual, which thankfully wasn't hard. She was a creepy little thing, like one half of the Shining twins. He had just added a shaky signature when she turned to him, holding up the picture with a tilted head. "What do you think, Mr. Blake?" It was a rough sketch of what was probably her behind a market stall, exchanging some bauble for bits of coin. It was copper-colored, so probably an Andrathis feather. Blake felt a pang in his chest. It's very well done, Marcel. May I ask what inspired this?" She shrugged, eyes glassy only for a moment. "Just a memory." Henry bit his lip hard before turning away. "I see. Magic or no, training or no, she was still just a kid." He watched as she stood up and slid the paper over. He raised an eyebrow as she smiled. "For you, since you liked it so much." He sighed. "Thank you." She did a quick turn before taking out a gold pocket watch, and smiled even wider. She marched toward the door with a skipping flair. Henry didn't bother asking where she was going. He already knew. Work. Terrible, mind-boggling, stomach-churning work. He simply watched as she closed the door behind her. He put his head in his hands and rubbed his temples. Every time he thought he had seen the depths of depravity sentient beings managed to sink to, he found some new horror that proved him wrong. Was coexistence so impossible? He put the paperwork away after a few moments of thinking before he twisted his sleeve up. Various tattoos twisted up and down his arms, mostly birds flying into weaving plants and whirling winds. One outline already missing, he ran his fingers over the ink form of a small robin. It materialized without much effort, the small bird tittering silently before him. He smiled and ran a finger over the bird's smooth feathers. He clasped a small note over the bird's head before sending her off. Then, picking up his paperwork he needed to deliver, he stood up. He couldn't wait for this whole thing to be over. And with that, episode 49 of Kingmakers, Wiped, comes to a close. I've been your MC, and we will see you all next time.